Spa, a misty afternoon. The pit lane was silent, except for the distant roar of engines.
That curve on the front wing. The cooling duct angle. It's my design, down to the last detail.
In his hand, a folded CAD blueprint. Airflow lines traced a philosophy only one man could have created.
And the chassis flex point at Puhan. I left that weakness there. I never documented it.
In the paddock, Masaki watched. His hands trembled. He had not expected Toshiki to return.
You are done, Toshiki. We have a younger designer taking over. Your concepts are outdated.
He had been stripped of his title, his car, his reputation, and within 6 months, his design appeared on a rival car.
They stole my work and called it their own. But they don't know the secret I built into it.
Masaki's face paled as he saw Toshiki's calm expression. A deeper terror lurked beneath his shock.
Today, I am not just racing. I am taking back everything that was taken from me.
3 years earlier, Masaki had already begun burying Toshiki's name. At a team press event, he stood beside a younger designer.
Our new chief designer has revolutionized our aerodynamic philosophy. All credit to him. The future is bright.
That's my work. Every curve, every duct, stolen and flaunted as his own.
Within 6 months, the rival team unveiled a machine that made his blood freeze. Every line shouted his name, but no one heard.
Our engineers have achieved an aerodynamic breakthrough. This car will redefine performance.
Your engineers didn't create this. I did.
He had no proof, no allies, only the bitter residue of betrayal. He vanished to a remote karting school in Hokkaido, burying himself in snow and solitude. For 3 years, he rebuilt himself. Not as a designer, but as a diver. Lap after lap, he waited for the moment to strike.
I'll come back. And when I do, they'll feel what it's like to be chased by their own creation.
In a cramped office, Principal Ito stared at telemetry from a remote karting school. His glasses reflected the data.
These sector times, they're perfect. Who the hell is this guy? Patch me through to the Hokkaido karting circuit. I need to speak with Toshiki.
Ito flew to Hokkaido. At the snow-dusted kart track, he found Toshiki wiping down an engine.
You came all this way. You must be desperate.
I am. Our team has nothing but heart. But I see in your data a driver who could change everything.
A no-name team. Asking a failed designer to drive. It's almost poetic.
They talked through the night. By dawn, a contract lay on the table.
Welcome on board, Toshiki. Let's prove them all wrong.
I am not just proving them wrong. I am going to destroy them with their own weapon.
The underdog team threw everything into making Toshiki race-ready. Simulator hours bled into real-world test sessions.
Toshiki-san, your sector times are insane. You are pushing this car to limits we didn't know it had.
This car is underdeveloped, but I know chassis dynamics better than any driver alive. I'll make it faster.
Months of relentless preparation paid off. The FIA granted him a super license, officially clearing him to race in Formula.
This piece of paper only matters because it gets me into the cockpit at Spa. The real test is waiting there.
We've never had a driver like you, Toshiki. Believe it or not, this team believes in you.
The navy and yellow garage, once full of quiet desperation, now crackled with hope. For the first time, they dared to dream.
They think I am carrying their hopes, but I am carrying a personal vendetta that's been 3 years cold.
With the license in hand and a car beneath him, Toshiki's next destination was set. The circuit that held his stolen masterpiece.
Spa. I designed a car that wins championships. Now I'll race it and expose those who thought they could bury me.
Qualifying at Spa, the asphalt shimmered with heat. Toshiki's mind was a cold furnace.
The rival car dances through Blanchimont. An optimization of my design, but not a perfect one.
Through Eau Rouge, he gained time, only to bleed it on the straights. Raw power was the enemy.
P2. Not enough to beat them on pace, but enough to start within striking distance.
Enjoy the view of my rear wing. Your museum piece can't keep up.
Puan. The high-speed flex point I buried in the chassis simulation. A .02 second delay only I notice.
He could see it in his mind. The ghost flexion, invisible to any engineer. A flaw he'd kept sheathed for 3 years.
They stole the body, but not the soul. I left a door open in that car. Only I have the key.
On the front row, the rival driver smirked. Toshiki's eyes were flat stones.
One corner. One moment. I'll take back everything.
The 5 red lights went out. 20 cars screamed into La Source. A churn of carbon dust and ambition.
Chaos is where mistakes unmake champions. I'll harvest them.
P7 now. Toshiki box. Says target P3 before the pit window. You are faster than the cars ahead.
8 seconds to the leader. In this car, an eternity. But I know these corners better than they know their own names.
Lap after lap, he carved through the field. Sector times fell like dominoes, each one a promise.
The chassis dances through the mid-speed complexes. They can't match my rhythm.
By mid-race, the crimson car no longer filled the mirrors. It filled his windshield.
You are on his gearbox. Tires are holding. Do what you came to do.
Puon is coming. The flex point I buried in the simulation. A doorway only I can open.
The gap shrank to nothing. Ahead, the crimson car defended. Inside it, a driver who did not yet know his machine's darkest secret.
Puon. The flex point is at the apex. A microslip that no driver would anticipate.
He feinted to the outside, then sliced inside at the last instant. A move born of intimate betrayal. The rival car wobbled. A chassis hesitation as the suspension loaded, exactly as Toshiki had predicted long ago.
I wrote that flaw into the CAE model at 3 a.m. while the world slept. It's mine.
What? How did he know? The car just... it didn't respond.
Toshiki's navy and yellow machine pulled clear, the crimson car fading in his mirrors like a bad memory.
They bought my design, but they couldn't buy the secrets I never wrote down.
Up ahead, open track. The race was his. But in the cockpit, Toshiki's hands still gripped the wheel with the cold promise of what was to come.
Toshiki, you are P1. Keep pushing. Box says tires optimal. This is your race.
This is only the first payment. The real reckoning comes after the flag.
The checkered flag fell. Toshiki crossed the line. The crowd a muted roar beyond his helmet.
Victory. But it tastes like ash. The real battle starts now.
From inside the cockpit, he retrieved a brown envelope, its edges worn from 3 years of waiting.
I've held on to this since the day they fired me. A signed confession from the man who sold my soul.
3 years ago, in a shadowy garage, Masaki slid a folder across a table to the rival owner.
$12 million for the complete Aerodyne 7 design. It'll win us championships.
Toshiki will never find out. He's already erased from the team.
Inside the envelope, a Cayman Islands bank transfer record. Masaki's signature at the bottom. $12 million.
This single sheet of paper will rip apart their empire. They thought I was broken, but I was just waiting.
He walked past, celebrating mechanics. The envelope clutched like a blade. The celebration was not for him. The FIA scrutineering bay was a cathedral of cold facts. White-shirted officials measured and probed the rival car with clinical detachment.
The sword is drawn. There is no sheathing it now.
He stopped before the stern FIA delegate, whose gray hair and weathered face gave nothing away.
Delegate. This document proves a $12 million payment for stolen design data. Signed by Masato Masaki himself.
The delegate unfolded the paper. A Cayman Islands shell company. A transfer of $12 million. Masaki's signature. A jagged claim of guilt. This accusation is of the gravest nature. Where did you obtain this record?
I've kept it for 3 years, waiting for a moment when it couldn't be buried. Today, I raced against the car I designed. That's the proof.
The delegate studied him for a long moment. Then his hand moved. The stamp came down with an echoing thud. Red ink bled onto the file. Investigation opened. The machinery of justice had begun to grind. In the bay, the rival car sat silent. Its stolen secrets finally called to account. Within hours, the news broke. A breaking headline flashed across screens. FIA opens investigation into $12 million design theft.
He kept it for 3 years, and now he's destroying me. My signature, the account, everything.
In the rival team's motorhome, the owner read the same headline. His hand tightened on his phone until the screen cracked.
$12 million. And now this. Find out how this leak happened. I want every person in my office by morning.
In the rival garage, mechanics froze. The secret they had built their success upon was now a public indictment. In the navy and yellow garage, Daisuke held up his phone. The screen reflected something rare. Validation.
Toshiki-san, this is it. The whole world is about to know the truth. You did it.
Not yet. The verdict hasn't fallen, but the trap has sprung. Now they'll feel what it's like to be hunted by their own creation.
Masaki rushed to pack. Paddock whispers became shouts. His name was now a curse on every tongue. The house of cards was collapsing, and somewhere in the chaos, Toshiki watched and waited for the final judgment. 3 days later, behind closed doors, the FIA hearing room was a tomb of wood and stale light. Masato Masaki, the fund transfer record with your signature places you at the center of a clear design theft. Explained.
That account is not. I was managing team funds. It was a standard consultancy payment.
He's drowning in his own lies. Every word tightens the noose.
The document was passed among the officials. Cayman Islands, $12 million. Masaki's broken signature. A Cayman shell company does not explain a payment for design data. This hearing finds sufficient evidence to proceed. Masaki's face crumbled. His lawyer's voice faded into static. The room saw only the truth. We will conduct a full design source review of the rival constructor. All findings will be referred for penalty.
The design source review will expose every stolen detail. The car will be laid bare.
The hearing concluded. Guilt had been established. Now, only the sentence remained. The FIA press room was packed. Cameras flashed, the air thick with vindication. The rival constructor is assessed a 75-point penalty, effective immediately. A full design source review will follow. Furthermore, Masato Masaki is banned for life from all FIA-sanctioned motorsport. On the broadcast graphic, the crimson bar collapsed by 75 points. The navy and yellow bar climbed
75 points. A lifetime ban. The price of betrayal. Finally collected.
Reporters erupted in a storm of questions. Toshiki remained still, a statue of quiet satisfaction.
3 years. I held that paper. 3 years I waited for this exact moment.
The delegate called for order. The judgment was final. The verdict echoed in the silent spaces between camera clicks.
Now they know. The design, the sale, the lie. Now the world sees the truth.
But in Toshiki's eyes, a deeper fire still burned. This was only the beginning. As the delegate stepped back, every microphone turned to Toshiki. A reporter leaned forward.
Toshiki-san, now that the design theft is exposed, will you return to engineering?
Toshiki paused. For a long moment, the only sound was the whir of camera shutters. Then, his lips curved.
Number. I am going to design cars while driving them. Both seats. Both jobs.
The room detonated. Journalists shouted over each other. Cameras exploded in a frenzy of light.
They said I was finished as a designer. I'll design the next championship winner from the cockpit.
You intend to be chief designer and lead driver simultaneously.
Exactly. I am not giving up either world. I've earned both.
For the first time in 3 years, the world saw Toshiki's genuine smile. Not a smirk of revenge, but of liberation.
Let them doubt. I've already proven what I can do. The best is yet to come.
After the press conference, Toshiki returned to the navy and yellow garage. A different kind of crowd waited.
Toshiki, I said you'd change everything. Now, I am putting my signature on the table to prove it.
Ito held up a document. The words were bold, the promise unprecedented. Chief designer and lead driver, 3 seasons.
You are really going to do both? Designing the car and then driving it. That's insane, and I love it.
A contract that trusts me with the future. Not just a driver, but the architect of our success. I accept this burden gladly.
The pen moved across the paper. A scratch of ink that sealed a new era for the team.
It's official. The first chief designer, lead driver in modern formula. We'll write history together.
The garage erupted. Mechanics threw gloves, Daisuke wept openly. The underdog team had found its beating heart.
Toshiki-san, you are not just our driver. You are our future.
This team believed in me when I was nothing. I'll repay them with championships. Both seats, both jobs.
Months later, the team factory hummed. In a new design studio, Toshiki hunched over a CAD station.
The next car will be faster than anything they've seen. Every curve, every duct, my vision.
His race suit hung on the wall behind, a constant reminder of the dual promise he had made.
Blueprints cover every surface. I adjust the front wing camber, muscle memory from 100 late nights.
The first prototype emerged. Aggressive wings, innovative side pods. The car looked fast, even standing still.
This machine will break records. I'll drive it to victory and design its successors.
The telemetry from the latest test session glowed on his screen. The new car was exceeding every simulation.
I know this car like I know my own breathing. When I drive it, I'll feel every part I designed.
Back at the factory, he worked through the night. The dual role was exhausting, but every sleepless hour was a down payment on victory.
Balance is a myth. I'll sleep when we win. Until then, I'm exactly where I need to be.
The new season dawned. At the first race, the navy and yellow car sliced through the pack, a predator born from its driver's own mind.
This machine obeys my every command. Every component I designed is now my weapon.
By mid-season, podiums piled up. Toshiki stood on the top step, champagne soaked, the team roaring below.
The standings don't lie. We're no longer the underdog. We're hunters.
We are a joke now. All because of that cursed deal. Our points are vanishing like our reputation.
Masaki's former team had disbanded. No one would hire a band principal. His name was Poison, his empire a ghost. Toshiki stared at the constructor standings on the pit wall. They were third, then second. Now, with 3 races left, they led by a handful of points.
So close. But this is the dangerous part. Leaders stumble when they celebrate too early.
Another win, another trophy. Daisuke wept at every podium, his joy a barometer of their ascent.
We haven't won anything yet. The constructor's crown is one bad race away from someone else's head. I'll keep pushing until the last flag falls.
The final race of the season. Sunday baked the grid. Toshiki's pulse was a quiet, determined drum.
This car, this track, the culmination of everything. I finish ahead of them. I win the title.
Lap after lap, he stalked the leaders, his driving a perfect algorithm of his own design. With 10 laps left, he took the lead. The pit wall held its breath. He crossed the line. The checkered flag waved. The radio crackled.
We are the champions. Toshiki, you beautiful genius. We did it.
In the cockpit, Toshiki let out a breath he had held for 3 years.
We did it. I designed this car, I drove it, and now we are constructors' champions.
Toshiki-san, you kept your promise. You gave us everything.
This is only the first of many. Both seats, both jobs. I am exactly where I was meant to be.
The championship celebrations had faded. In his private office, Toshiki stood alone, the room lit by a soft morning glow.
There it is. The original blueprint. Once, it was the evidence of my dismissal. Now, it's the proof of my victory.
His eyes moved to the constructor's trophy. The metal gleamed, a heavy testament to the impossible path he had walked.
They said I was finished, that my design belonged to them. But in the end, I raced my own creation and crossed the line first.
A quiet smile crossed his lips. Not the victorious grin of a champion, but the contentment of a man who had reclaimed his soul. The blueprint had once been a sentence of exile. Now it hung as a monument to everything he had rebuilt.
The same hands that drew these lines also gripped the steering wheel. The same mind that engineered that car drove it to the title.
He had walked from betrayal to vindication, from exile to champion Speeb. The circle was complete.
I don't need revenge anymore. I have something better, a future I designed myself.
He turned toward the door, toward the next race, the next design, the next season. But for a moment, he simply stood in the quiet, savoring the victory that had been years in the making. Far from the celebrations, Masaki stood in a cold garage. The space where his team crest once gleamed was now a faded scar on the wall.
Banned for life. My team dissolved. All the power, the money. It built a jail of my own making.
His hand reached toward the bare wall, but stopped short. There was nothing left to touch. In a luxury motorhome, the rival owner watched the navy and yellow team parade the constructor's trophy. The glass in his hand cracked.
That car was built on our deal. Now they flaunt it while we're buried in fines and shame.
He hurled the glass at the screen. The image of Toshiki's smile shattered into 1,000 shards. He sank into a chair, breathing hard. Silence reclaimed the room. Outside the empty garage, Masaki walked slowly into the night. No destination, only the weight of disgrace. 2 men, once allies in treachery. 1 band, 1 disgraced. Their empire was ash. The cameras had long since left. In the quiet, only the echo of their choices remained. A television flickered. Toshiki's smile filled the screen, reaching a small living room. A child sat cross-legged before it. A toy car clutched tightly in one hand. The car was painted navy and yellow, the colors of champions. On screen, Toshiki declared he would design and drive. The child listened, unblinking. Little fingers traced the car's wings. Dreaming of airflow and speed, the television's glow flickered on the child's face. In those wide eyes, a familiar fire sparked. A new generation was watching. A new promise began to form. The future of racing didn't know it yet. But its next architect was already dreaming. The interview ended. The child looked down at the toy with new purpose. Outside, the sun was rising. And somewhere, engines were waiting. Morning filled the team garage. Toshiki lifted his helmet from the bench, the navy and yellow paint cool under his fingers.
Same hands that draw the lines. Same hands that grip the wheel. I choose both.
He put the helmet on, leaving the visor up. His eyes, calm and unblinking, held the focus of a man who had already conquered yesterday. He walked slowly toward the garage exit, where the track stretched into the distance, a ribbon of possibility under the rising sun.
Every season is a new design. Every race a proof of concept. I am not finished. I am only beginning.
He paused at the threshold. The blueprint was in his left hand, the helmet under his right. Behind him, the tools of a designer. Ahead, the machine he would drive. He was both architect and athlete. The engines would roar again. But for now, there was only the quiet promise of a new day, and a man who had earned every right to stand in its light. Toshiki closed his eyes for a breath, then opened them. The track waited. He stepped forward. 1 man, 2 roles, an endless road ahead. The mist of Spa had long since lifted. What remained was a man who had turned betrayal into fuel.
They said I was finished, that I would never design again. They were wrong about everything.
The blueprint that once condemned him now guided a championship-winning machine.
I've proven what I needed to prove. Now I chase the next challenge, not for revenge, but because I was born to build and race.
The engines would start again soon, but for now there was only the quiet hum of ambition. He stepped into the cockpit, helmet on, the blueprint now a roadmap for the future.
Both seats, both jobs. This is only the beginning of what I will create.
The lights went out. The roar of 20 engines swallowed the silence. But for Toshiki, the sound was not a storm. It was a promise. A designer who races. A driver who designs. 1 man, infinite possibility.